Hello gamers, Carlum00 here with another video. Today's video is about pull 1 and pull 2 cards that are very good at getting 8 cubes. The best 8 cube farmers for me in the game at that level. The reason why it's important to have cards that can farm 8 cubes is because 8 cubes is very important to climbing. Like if you're stuck climbing, having cards in there that can, give you more chance, increase your likelihood of getting 8 cubes is really important, because 8 cubes in the end of the day equals 8 retreats. You can see 8 hands and retreat all of those times and still be equal in cubes. So getting those games where you do get 8 cubes in a row, it gives you a nice piece of momentum for your climb. So let's go through the 5 cards and I'll explain what the card does and also the reason why I think it's good for farming 8 cubes. Okay, so the first card on the list is Hulk. What is Hulk? So what does Hulk do? Hulk is a 6 energy 12 power card with no ability. Hulk is significant for a few reasons. The first reason is that it's the most non-conditional power before pull 3. And what I mean by that is things that kind of rival it in terms of just pure power. Stuff like Dino is conditional on how many cards you have in hand. It's a bit more telegraphed. It can be more power. It can be 13, 15, or 17 in the last 3 iterations of its power. But it is conditional and it's more played as well. Another thing would be Infinite, which is 20 power, but you have to skip your last turn. Very telegraphed. And then you've got Apocalypse, which requires discards. That's very, very telegraphed. You can see it literally increase in power throughout the game. Also, Hulk is very underplayed, peeps. It's very underplayed. It says here C95 on the website here, as you can see down here. But just from experience playing, you just don't see Hulk very much. So having a card with this much power and you don't see it very much, and it's going to pretty much win nearly every duel, 1 card duel in the 6 energy, makes it just formidable. And like America Chavez, okay, which is 6 energy 9 power, you see everywhere. It's one of the most played cards in the game. So you just get very used to playing around that and playing for that power, and you'll see it a lot. So when Hulk comes out, it's always a shock. It's always a surprise. I mean, I used to sneak a lot of cubes off people, and people used to sneak a lot of cubes off me when I was in pull 1, pull 2 with this card. Okay, I definitely highly recommend testing out for yourself and see what's going on. I mean, more often than not, because the overall power level, the power you kind of see in pull 1, pull 2 is lower than pull 3. You can actually steal like an entire location just with this card, more often than not. So, yeah, very good card that I recommend trying out. And see what you can get. I mean, even if you don't get 8, you get your 4 cubes. It's just always a surprise. It really is deceptive. For a starter card as well. Just fantastic, the fact it's a starter card and it being, on this list. Moving on to the next card that I think is very, very good for farming 8 cubes. Is Enchantress. Okay, so what is Enchantress? Enchantress is a 4 energy 4 power card. Description: ability on reveal, remove the abilities from all ongoing cards at this location. Okay, so this is important for a number of reasons as well. I mean, the first thing is this completely nullifies Dino, Devil Saw. The reason why that's important is because it's very, very popular. That deck is very popular right now, the Dino deck. I mean, if you've played for any significant amount of time, you know that the game is plagued with the Dino. It's all over the place. So having a card that completely nullifies it, and it gives you a lot of confidence because Dino has a lot of power, really does. Your opponent will snap, okay, if they got a good Dino setup. So you just have this in the back burner. Opponent's never going to see it. I mean, more often than not, they don't see this card. So there's always a chance, but most people aren't going to play around it. And not only is it good against Dino, it's also good against Spectrum ongoing decks. It's good against Iron Man. There's just a bunch of ongoing cards. Kazoo. The cards in Kazoo are Kazar, Blue Marvel, Onslaught. So it's just a very good counter. And any card that removes power from the opponent's board, more often than not, when I lose 8 cubes or win 8 cubes, it's either I'm destroying the opponent's units or opponent's cards, or they're destroying my cards, okay? Because it's very easy to kind of calculate and work out what's going on when you go in power for power, right? You're just filling cards, what can they have? But when you kind of do this wild card action where you destroy or nullify an interaction, it's just always hard to calculate that out, okay? Because there's so many ways that can happen, and there's just no way when you're playing the game and you're playing multiple turns of the game over like an hour span or however long your game session is, you just can't always keep up with how many different interactions can happen. So this is just a great card for catching your opponent off guard, and it lulls them into a full sense of security or comfortability, because they're ahead, and more often than not they'll be very, very ahead, and this can easily take a lot of power off the board in one sweep. So another card that I think is very, very good for farming 8 cubes early. Moving on to the next card, we've got Heimdall. Now Heimdall is a bit of a wild card option. So first of all, what does Heimdall do? Heimdall is a 6 energy 8 power card. Description: on reveal, move your other cards 1 location to the left. Now more often than not, you will see this in a movement deck, okay, with other movement cards, stuff like Vulture, Multiple Man, you know, the classic movement archetype. Now the reason why this is on the list is not because of that archetype, because within the archetype it's telegraphed. It's very, very obvious. The first thing you do is, when you play against movement, is, does my opponent have Heimdall? And then you start planning out how much power they have with Heimdall, right? Because more often than not, they're looking for the Heimdall setup. This card is on this list is to play Heimdall outside of a movement list, because your opponent is never gonna predict that, okay? And that kind of setup, like Heimdall moving units, will make the power on your side of the board on locations distributed in a way that no other card can do in the game, because you're moving significant parts over from location to location, right? So if you get a situation where Heimdall puts yourself in a chance to win, and one of the only ways to win, that's like a guarantee, your opponent's never gonna go into that. They're more likely to snap, and you're just coming away with 8 cubes. You're coming away with 4 8 cubes, like 100% of the time, because you see this almost never outside of movement, okay? You see it I've seen it a couple times, but over 1,000 games, right? So it's just so unpredictable, and one of the key things for me when it comes to 8 cubes, like how does a card contribute to 8 cubes, is unpredictability. This playing Heimdall out of a movement list is super unpredictable. I've been doing it recently, on the last couple of streams in pool 3, just kind of fiddling around with it and trying to see if I can get it to work. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it can make your deck weaker, but in those spots where Heimdall shifts the chance for you to win, more often than not, you get some of the safest 4 8 cubes you'll ever get in your life. So definitely recommend trying it out, and see how that works for you outside the movement list, because it's less telegraphed. So kind of another wild card pick, I would say. Bit unusual, but trust me, I've done a bit of work with it, and it can definitely work very, very well. So try it out, see how it feels. Moving on to the second last card on the list, is Killmonger. Okay, so if you're in pool 2, you know exactly what this card is, but I'll go over it for the video. It is a 3 energy, 3 power card. Description: on reveal, destroy all 1-cost cards. Kind of a polarizing card. Very important card to the entire game, because in pool 1 you obviously have the Kazoo archetype, which is dominant, and then into pool 2, this is kind of the counter card for that purpose. Again, it's kind of, you know, it's not really, it's played a lot, it's very popular, so it's not like your opponent won't kind of expect you to maybe have this, but again, it's not almost guaranteed that every opponent's going to have this. And it's very good at removing like key cards. For example, Ant-Man, Sunspot, which sees a lot of play in that pool 2. If you save this to like turn 6, you can really catch your opponent off guard. There's certain locations like Mojo World where, you know, if your opponent, what Mojo World does is, you know, if you have more cards than your opponent on the location, it gives you plus 100 power. If you play this late and you have 4 cards in that location, there's nothing they can do. Your opponent can't physically have 4 cards if you destroy them on the last turn. So it just kind of goes back into the ilk of Enchantress, where Killmonger allows you to remove opponent cards, and that really is the way to really see AQs, because, you know, they get confident, they've got so much power on the board, let's snap, you Killmonger, you reverse a lot of that power, and yeah, it's just a nightmare for the opponent to calculate when this is going to happen. So yeah, definitely recommend Killmonger. A lot of people playing Killmonger already, but yeah, definitely one of the best AQ farmers in the kind of early pool 2, early part of the game, pool 2, and it's still very good in pool 3 as well. But yeah, definitely for pool 2, fantastic card. And the last card on this list, which I think is definitely the best AQ farmer in the entire game. I still use it in many decks even to this day. Shang Chi. Okay, so what is Shang Chi? Shang Chi is a 4 energy, 3 power card. Description on reveal: destroy all enemy cards at this location that have 9 or more power. This card is insane, guys. It really is just a complete 8-cube farmer. You know, it's played a lot, as you can see, scene 17. It's played a lot, but it's still so hard. You can't physically play around this card every single game. You just can't play around it every single game. You know, and because you are destroying all enemy cards at this location that have 9 or more power, this assumes that your opponent already has a lot of power on the board, so they're more likely to snap themselves. You snap back, you got Shang-Chi. You know, it's very good against the location that spawns a 9 monster in. Nidavellir as well, which gives everything +5 power. Good against Dino. Blind, you can play it blind against like Hulk in the turn 6 if you know a big unit's coming in. Like if you suspect it, if they need to win one location, you can even play it blind. You can destroy, you know, 2-3 units. I mean, people have taken 30-40 power off me with this card, okay, peeps? It's just devastating. I highly recommend this card. It's, you know, what we call it on the stream, we call him Shang Chi's, because it will just take your cubes, okay? It's really, really nice. I think it's the best 8-cube farmer in the game. Pool 3 is a bit arguable. Some things start happening, some crazy stuff, and you've got Leader, some other crazy cards in there. But for Pool 2 and below, this card is a big time 8-cube farmer. So yeah, guys, that's it really for the video today. Good luck on your snapping. Hope you find some success out of it, out of this video. Hopefully get some 8 cubes through these cards. I'm sure a lot of you are using these cards already. But yeah, these are definitely the cards that I would highly, if you're stuck on rank, I'd highly recommend using some of these cards. And, you know, go with the other tactics on the other video with, you know, retreating a bit more. And then when you get these spots, they're very high yield spots, very high chance of getting 4 to 8 cubes. So yeah, if you like the video, guys, drop it a like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Pumping out Marvel Snap content. I've got another video coming early tomorrow. Look out for that one. It's going to be a very good one, I think, for tomorrow, because obviously some stuff is being released. But that's it, guys. Take it easy. I'll drop the stream in the description if you want to come and kind of have been having more and more people come over from YouTube onto the stream, which is absolutely fantastic. Great new players talking about the game, just getting good conversation flowing. So yeah, really appreciate it, guys. And yeah, if you want to leave a comment, I'll get through them. I kind of check in the comments on all the videos. I check kind of every other day. Just go through them in the morning and go over it. So yeah, take it easy, guys, and all the best. Have a great day.